I just built version 1 of my AI second brain in pretty much a weekend, really 3 days. And I've not really used AI at all until last week. And so I've caught up to speed pretty quickly on this stuff. And I have what I believe to be one of the most powerful second brain setups that I've ever seen online. And I'm gonna show you guys kind of how I did that, or at least tell you how I did that. I'll make a full course in the future for free, of course. Don't worry about that. But yeah, I'll explain it to you why the second brain is important, why it works, and how I did it with AI. The most important thing you need to understand: a second brain can be extremely valuable and useful to your life. It could change your life. I mean, if you're watching this video, my second brain came up with the title. It came up with the ideas based on stuff I'd written in my own stuff in the past. And then it also uploaded this video that you're seeing right now and scheduled it. I did none of it. And so the second brain can take away so much low leverage stuff, or at least an AI version can. So you can do the high leverage stuff, like actually speaking and talking and adding my perspectives on these videos. But most people do it wrong. They treat their second brain system, or at least it ends up being, this massive library of bloated information that doesn't apply to their goals directly and they never use again. This is what happened with me. This is what happens with literally 90% of people who download the freaking app called Notion, is they end up just storing a bunch of crap and it doesn't drive value. It doesn't drive outputs into the world. It doesn't help you to fully understand something. You see, in order to get value out of a second brain, it has to be second. It can't be the primary thing. Like your brain, your perspective, your taste, your judgment, your goals, that's what creates value into the world. Not this massive storage, this digital library of random crap. The cool part about AI in general is it's given us access to pretty much every bit of information in the world. I mean, obviously there's some stuff, but like most of the information is available to us now. Yet most people are still broke, myself included. Why? Because it's not about more information. It's about applying it. It's about what do we do with that information? How do we select the right information to our goals? So let's go over how I've set up my second brain to do that. And what you got to understand is I had a second brain before AI existed, and I figured out how to drive value with the second brain. I mean, I've posted, I think, 600 plus videos in the past 2 years. I made $1 million online and then lost most of it online. I've managed to do a lot of valuable stuff through this second brain system without ever having AI. And that's the secret sauce. If you can drive value without it, you learn how to drive a ton of value with it. Not a storage place, something that actually produces. So let's go over how to create a second brain that actually drives value. First step is it has to be goal and project oriented. So storing data and information for the sake of storing information, like reading books, is pointless unless you have a goal. I mean, you can entertain yourself, I guess, while reading and learning, but don't get stuck in learning trap. The only reason you're learning is to solve a problem. And so if you don't have a clear goal of what you're trying to do in your life, there's no way for you to filter which information is signal and which information is noise. And so having a very clear, specific goal, it doesn't have to be super, super in the weeds, but just like, hey, I want to do this, and this is why I want to do this. That gives your subconscious and your second brain later on the ability to discern which information is actually valuable to you. Because contrary to most people's subconscious opinion, the value is in the eye of the beholder. And so if you're someone who's trying to make money online, and information about making money online is valuable to you. If you're trying to get an Olympic gold medal for swimming, making money online is a distraction. So it's all about your goal. And so setting a clear goal is important. And setting up your second brain as a folder system that helps you clarify that goal is very important as well. And so my second brain is set up by projects. So the only thing that I can really sort through is just random ideas, which is my inbox. And then I have my projects I'm working on. So what are the things that I am building? And so these are projects that have a goal. What am I working towards? And so from there, I know what information, or at least I have a better idea of what information is signal and what information is noise, like it doesn't matter to my goals. And then my second brain, Cletus. What a terrible name, bro. My second brain, Cletus, he has a much better understanding of what I'm trying to accomplish. And then he knows to give me information that helps, and he helps me accomplish things with those projects. Inside each project, I have a very, very cool system where pinned at the top, and like I said, I'll make a course for you guys in the future, but I need to bulletproof this myself. is problems. So you go from goal to then projects, which is like basically to accomplish that goal. And then you have problems. And so what are the problems that you need to solve to create that system, to create that project, to get that result you want? And so, for instance, creating this system that you're watching happen live right now, I sat down and asked myself, how do I come up with ideas on my own without AI? Like, how do I normally come up with video ideas? Where do they come from? How do I record these ideas efficiently? So how do I set up this? Like right now, my camera is directly into my computer. I don't have to have an SD card. I don't have to like transfer anything. I press it done and it's done. It goes into a folder and then AI uploads it when I do a /upload, which is crazy. So how do I set up the actual video? How do I set up the titles? How do I title my videos? What kind of upload schedule am I going to use? How does AI know when a video is ready to upload, etc.? Whenever my second brain runs out of ideas, I have a command that AI will tell me to /flesh out, and it tells me to go back through these things that I've not finished yet to flesh them out to give AI more ideas. And so these are all miniature problems. When you solve each one of them, they lead to you solving the big problem, creating the thing, and actually achieving the goal. And so if your second brain isn't sorted by literal, this is what I want to do, this is what's stopping me, you're going to have a hard time filtering what information you need and what information you don't. And so that's one of the biggest things. And then off the back of that, that's where AI comes into play. You want AI to take care of everything that you shouldn't be doing as the human. So you want to figure out, what do I do well and what does AI do well? And how do I do more of what humans do well and do less of robot? And how I give robot more stuff that it does well. So very monotonous tasks that happen over and over again, like titling, scheduling, and uploading videos. Like that's something you can give to AI. Also, a big key for my second brain is I don't allow AI to edit any of my files that I've written. So it can write its own files. It can give me all this awesome stuff, but I don't allow it to tweak my own things. And a lot of times I give AI the process that I want it to do. So for instance, I have a client that I write emails for every single week, three a week. And I have AI help me write those emails. But I always write like the finished product, but I give AI the ability to give me ideas based on the context that I've given it. I help it to flesh out the emails based on context from the web. So it's all about figuring out like, what do you do well? What does AI do well? And you learn that over time. Yeah. And so that's really how I set it up. Now, how do I actually set this thing up? Like I said, I'll do a full course on this, but for those of you who want to just, go have fun with this right now, it is set up in Obsidian. So Obsidian is basically like a Notion, kind of Google Docs, Notion, whatever, but it lives on your computer. So it's locally. So all these files are saved on a folder in markdown files on my desktop. This is game changing for AI. So these are like oxygen for AI. AI can read these files immediately. And so by having my second brain just in these text documents on my computer, and I can see them very beautifully in Obsidian with all these tools, I have Claude Cowork. Claude Cowork, you can choose which folder you want to work in. So I choose the folder of my second brain every day I wake up. And I say, all right, familiarize yourself with the last 3 daily logs, and let's get to work on the problems I need to solve today. And it's like dope. It reminds itself like who it is, why it exists, and then it goes into that second folder and just starts reading through all the markdown files quickly without taking up much context, and then we get to work. So yeah, I set this up in like a weekend. It's not that hard. It took a lot of technical trial and error, but guys, AI just solves all the problems. Like I just screenshot it and I'm like, hey, I don't know what the frick I'm doing. Help. And it's like, bet, this is what you do. So hopefully this helps you guys think through like how you can use AI better. I know this is kind of like a ramble, but like I said, I'm getting used to doing these videos again. And yeah, we'll get back in the swing of things. But I'm gonna go work more on my AI system. I'm gonna work on some more commands. So like /stuck. Like if I get stuck at the end of the workday, I'm like /stuck. It reviews what we do, like what we did. It goes over the problems that I've yet to solve in certain projects, and it gives me easy wins to just get the ball rolling. So it's like less about how do I outsource all my thinking to AI and everything I do to AI, and more how do I like partner up with AI to help make me better and I help make it better, and we both get better and crush everything. So yeah, Hopefully this helps you guys. I'll make a full course soon, but I got to figure it out for myself. Peace.